We are back at the Radisson Hotel, live in Manchester, New Hampshire. We'll be here from noon to 3, and we are joined here by Mike Barnicle. You can hear Mike Barnicle 3 times a week doing commentary on the Ima Show. He's on the Today Show every time I turn on the television, not to mention with Chris Matthews and Tim Russert. Thank you for taking the time to be with us here.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Barnicle, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Now you can tell the difference between Barnicle and us. Barnicle has a room in the hotel.
Right.
We drive back to Boston every single night. Need I say more? That says it all, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, we were
Pretty much
scrounging around.
that's the whole deal.
Asking to sleep on people's floors last night. It didn't quite work out. Anyway, so what do you think? Where have you been this morning?
Well, you know, I think actually we are on the edge of an historic story that unfortunately too many of us in the news business, forced to blog every 6 seconds, forced to natter on TV every 15 minutes, have not done what we used to do in the news business, and that is take a look at the event, take a look at the people involved in the event, and then think about it for a few moments, an hour, whatever, before we try and transmit what we saw and heard to you people, news consumers. And I think if you think about it, what you are seeing and hearing and witnessing and being part of is the end of 2 dynasties, the Bush dynasty and the Clinton dynasty, here in the snows of New Hampshire. It's all coming to an end here today.
For good, you mean?
What do you mean for good?
Well, because that's the big debate about Hillary Clinton. Can she possibly come back in the?
She doesn't mean for good or evil. She means for pleasant permanently.
States. I mean, the talk about whether she should drop out of the race. James Carville, you hear, is telling her to stay in. Other people are saying, get out.
I talked to Carville yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. The campaign obviously is of huge concern to many people within the Clinton camp. Is she? I think she's finished as a presidential candidate. That's just me. Doesn't really matter what I think. But once you start to get point loss in polls in New York State, which goes on February 5th on Super Tuesday, that's when any candidate has to think, maybe I should get out while I can still protect my base. Because if she lost New York State on February 5th, that's really losing a lot.
Can we go to the other half of this? I think I share your notion about the Clinton side of things, and obviously this morning it's even better news for Obama. But if it's the end of the Bush time, the Bush dynasty, who does that trickle down to? I mean, I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. And when I say the end of the Bush dynasty, what I'm saying is, I don't know how many people out there in this audience or out in the listening audience sit and think as they drive their car, as they do grocery shopping at Hannaford's down the street here, wherever they are, think about, we're living in a country of 300 million people. Do we really want to go from Bush to Clinton to Bush to another Clinton? Is that all there is in this country? And I think that's out there.